So that was interesting.
Diana, when I said I could bleep it out, I have no idea.
Well, you're going to have to figure it out.
I thought you were going.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Tank Talks. My name's Brandon.
My name's Keith.
Am I supposed to introduce? I'm Diana, hi.
And this is Diana, who puts the die in Diana.
Don't say
Is that one of those things we discussed before? That you just cough once if you'd like that removed. Cough twice.
already everything. It's fine.
I think it was a good way to start.
Sure.
To be honest. I mean, I think you're a no nonsense, take no prisoners kind of gal.
It just keeps getting worse.
What? Well, not
Anyway,
It's fine.
Yeah. Anyway.
so today we're here to discuss a recent trip Diana went on.
Yes.
Diana told me that she'd went to a recent Bernie Sanders rally, and so today we were sitting down and talking to her about that visit and kind of getting her take on the rally itself.
Feel the burn.
Do you are you ready for questions, or do you want to preference it at all? Or
Yeah, so I can start by saying that I went to this rally with a good friend of mine, my friend Patricia. We are both political science majors, and we heard there was a Bernie rally happening, so
Shout
we were
out
like,
to Patricia.
yeah.
Political science.
She can't be here today. Unfortunately, she has rehearsal. She's going to be in Keating's show, Shakespeare in Suburbia, so...
shout out to Keating.
Shout out to Keating.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shakespeare, my
gotta-
man. But yeah, so she unfortunately can't be here, which is sad, but a lot of the footage, which, we could have been discussing if she ever emails it, is all taken by her. So a lot of my opinions are also influenced because we had a long conversation after, and, we did discuss the political opinions, like the pros, the cons, not only of Bernie himself, but of the rally and how the campaigning went.
And to preface the conversation, do you want to reveal your particular interest in politics and maybe where you stand on the political spectrum?
Yeah. Oh, well, that second question's a little bit harder. The
Sure.
first is I'm a poli-sci major. Like I said, I'm involved in student government, and I'm looking to go to law school. So my interest in politics is mostly academic. I mean, I do eventually want to get involved in politics myself, but as for which party I stand with is up in the air at any given election.
Hey, that's a good way to be. I can respect that.
Yeah.
Up in the air.
So I guess the first question would be, I'm a person who is very big on merch. I remember back in the day, you'd go to the state fair and you would get free t-shirts for the Republicans, free hats from the Democrats. At this event, Bernie's really big on there's free college, so was there free stuff?
Real Brandon fans will have seen this coming from miles away.
I did, actually. I got one thing, and I should have brought it. I got a yard sign thing that just had Bernie Sanders logo on it, and then at the bottom it said, paid for by the crowdsourcing and not by millionaires or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing we got. I got a blue one. I think Patty got a white one. But beyond that, there was merch, but it wasn't free. Obviously, you had the hashtag Feel the Burn stuff. You had stuff with Bernie's face on it. You had general Democrat Party merch, typical stuff. I remember in particular there was a t-shirt and a pattern which was three women all cloaked in American flag. It was we stand with her or something like that. It looked like it was for Hillary, but it was weird.
Maybe they're just recycling.
It was really weird. It was really weird.
Was it in the clearance trailer?
No. It was right there in front of everything.
Okay.
In addition, you also had buttons, and a lot of them had Bernie stuff on it. It had Democrat stuff, there was a lot of pride,
Yeah.
Gay pride and trans and things like that, which makes sense for their target audience.
Sure.
I gotta say, one thing that I didn't particularly like, just because it seems like it's not politically correct.
Yeah.
Not PC as in you might understand it,
Yeah.
but in this is just not playing fair. It's rude.
Sure.
I'm not sure if I can say this on your YouTube channel.
Are you gonna use profanity?
I might. I'm not. Anyway.
If you'd like to, I can bleep it out.
Okay. Well, anyway, it said Trump in like big bold letters, a bright pink T-shirt, and like it said Trump right there on the front. I also have pictures of a guy in the rally wearing a bright pink hat, which also had the phrase on it. So that was interesting.
Diana, when I said I could bleep it out, I have no idea.
Well, you're gonna have to figure it out.
I thought you were gonna. No, I definitely can't. We're gonna put a black bar over that mouth. Nobody will ever hear what you said.
Yep. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that. There's one thing to have like your pro stuff, but it's just another thing. That seems like something out of a Trump playbook.
It does.
And I feel like people would complain about that.
We fight fire with fire here in America.
So I think the reasoning behind that is that you're going to see a lot of similarities between Bernie's campaign and Trump's campaign because they're both populist candidates. And they're both kind of going along the lines of like, you know, we're not listening to super PACs or the establishment. You know, we're raising our own funds. Like Trump, his big thing was that he only used money that he had. And like he wasn't taking a lot of money from super PACs. And he wasn't even taking the presidential salary, which... Okay, big deal. You're already like a multi-billionaire, but whatever.
Yeah, I was particularly impressed by that. Either.
Yeah, it's like whatever.
I brought my own filet mignon to work, so I'm not going to take the PB&J you made me.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Thank you. We can keep it.
But yeah, so a lot of people might not like that I'm comparing the two, but you know, politically speaking, they're both very populist, so it's worth comparing.
This is the part in the video where we just make everyone upset.
Well, let me just go ahead and make everyone hate Take Media.
That's the whole thing. I mean, if you're out there disliking this video, joke's on you. You dislike it, we're controversial, baby. No matter what you do, we got
If you really hate this video, you'd watch it 30 times. Really just
and share it with all your friends.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Diana.
Yeah.
I am out of the political game.
Okay.
I do not pay attention until it comes time for me to vote between two people.
Oh.
And I know that's going to bother you. I know that bothers people out there in the world, but I have strong stances on why I don't do that. Because it is so far. Now you may say this is because you're a white male, a straight white male. People out there may feel this way that I've not yet been harmed, you know, by policies. And the ones that I see doing harm people or whatever, I know they're gonna stay there if regardless of my one vote. It feels that way to me. Now I know we can have a discussion off camera, but when it comes to political stuff, what I typically see, I've never seen anyone change their mind ever.
Ever.
I've never seen anyone on the internet change their mind and say, I used to be a Bernie guy, now I'm a Trump guy, or vice versa. Never seen it. When it comes to these rallies, what is the goal? Is your goal, because the people who are buying tickets, now of course you're going there, maybe you're not a Bernie supporter, you didn't come out as one, you didn't say that's why you went. So you're going there, the typical person going to that rally, are they going because they love Bernie Sanders?
You know, I'd say the typical person going out to a rally is going because they love Bernie Sanders, or maybe they're just curious about Bernie Sanders or something like that. You're also going to find people who are going there for just pure academic reasons. I remember a classmate of mine made Reddit recently by wearing a MAGA hat and dressing up as like one of Trump's sons, I guess, and standing in the corner. So yeah, there was a big picture of him. I don't know how I didn't see him at the rally, actually. It was really confusing because we were like right at the perfect angle where we should have seen him. Anyway. He's not a great classmate of mine, but at least he's brave, so I'll give him that.
I'll say it. He doesn't seem very bright, but at least he's brave.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's my question, kinda, is that, or the idea of these, you know, rallies. So I don't imagine there are people going there and say, I'm big into Trump, but I'm looking to see if Bernie's got something for me. You're there, either you like Bernie, you're there for an academic reason, like you say, to do some research.
You're there to be a troll.
Or you're there to be, or if you're on the far right side, you're there to be a troll or whatever. You're not there, or just to fight off whatever evil you think is impending. So what I feel like, I'm not saying it's a waste of time, because rallies get press coverage and stuff, and then that's when people see you. People who don't know you is whenever they see you on the internet after your rally.
Sure.
So actually, for me, I certainly feel like it would be like a waste for me to go there. Did you feel that it was just kind of like, talking into the air because no one's really changing their mind? You're just talking to people who agree with you?
I don't know if I'd go that far. I know that I've been to a couple Republican rallies as well, and what I see kind of through both parties is that if you're a Democrat, you'll probably end up going to any Democrat's rally. So the rallies aren't so much to change you from blue to red or red to blue, it's which shade of blue or which shade of red, which is still useful.
Sure.
Sure. Because you can go to a Rubio, a Cruz, a Trump rally. They're all going to be different flavors of red.
Cherry, strawberry, watermelon,
blood.
Yeah.
You figure it out. But I mean, at the end of it, you're not necessarily going to change all of your opinions.
Sure.
But I think that part of it is to try to figure out one, like who you already agree with, and maybe who you can stomach.
Yeah. Which is pretty much the political game nowadays, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, going to all the different Republican rallies, and I can only say that I've been to different Republican because this is the first Democrat rally I've been to. But I mean, it's been interesting because they all bring up different points, and it's not so much that they have changed my mind, but rather that they've altered the way I'm thinking about a particular issue, which either solidifies my opinion or occasionally it does change it because new evidence will come out. And, even what people say about YouTube comments, I have seen people change their minds in YouTube comments. Prove Keith wrong. Have an argument in the comments and change someone's mind. Or even better, change your own mind.
So, with the rally, I'm assuming that kind of like a concert, Bernie Sanders is not like, you're not just showing up for him. You got to have kind of like a build up, like some opening acts.
And they
What
did.
is kind of the idea of when you walk in that door, like, was it like 10 minutes of, hey, walk around, but then we're going to have our opening act and someone plays acoustic guitar for 3 minutes and says, hey, put some
everybody, this is wonderful.
Yeah. So, I mean, are you asking like kind of how it was, or what's the point?
Yeah. So, like, how is it kind of? How do they build it to where, like, who is someone speaking? Is someone singing? What is the build up to? Now you're ready for Bernie.
How do you get Bernie?
What's the appetizer?
Okay. Right. So here's the biggest difference I saw between Republican rallies and Democrat rallies, is that in a Republican rally, you'll maybe have 2 or 3 people speak. Usually it's, a figure in the local community of like maybe a pastor or a mayor or something like that, and then maybe it'll be like a senator or a congressman, something like that. Although in the Democrat rally, in the Bernie rally, it was maybe like 5 or 6 people who went up to speak before Bernie even got. It was weird.
It's a jamboree.
It was really weird. So it first opened up, like the doors opened up, I think at 6 or 6:30, and they played music. Some of it was based on like revolution or love or feel the burn puns or something like that.
Feel the burn pun music?
Yeah, they played Disco Inferno.
Okay.
Yeah, that was interesting. But anyway, so they kind of like got us all into this one room because it was like a big church auditorium thing. So they were playing music and you could like talk with different people, although no one did, but you could. And then around 7 o'clock, they actually started the thing, and that's when you had a gospel singer come out. And then, it was a really, great gospel singer.
No, I'm starting to figure it out, sorry.
Anyway, I'll explain more as we get onto this story. But, so we had a gospel singer come out, and he sounded great. He had a really good, plan of how to build solidarity amongst his supporters, which is, in the middle of his songs, he would, in a gospel service, you start singing, then the guy starts talking, and then he sings some more, and then he talks some more, and, it goes with the rhythm. So anyway, what he had us do is, turn to your neighbor and tell them that anything is possible.
You in church now.
Yeah, it felt like church, which was, I guess, appropriate, because it was church, technically, but it was a Bernie Sanders rally. So he came in, and then, he left, and another person came in, gave a personal testimony about Medicare, and why it's important to have in Low Country, which, you know, she had a personal experience about having difficulty getting Medicare because she just kind of barely almost qualified because of her condition. I don't know, it was weird, but it was definitely useful, and I could see her point in what she was saying.
Sure.
Then you had another person come out and sing some gospel songs. You had a pastor come out.
Dang.
I had opinions about the theology.
Well, now remember, we're in a church. We're not at church.
Right, but it was the reverend who actually, like, I guess operated this particular church that we were at.
Oh, bother.
So, oh my gosh. Like, okay. Like, it's one thing to pray to God, but it's another thing to pray to God and diversity. Like,
you're right.
Like, okay, if you're going to be a Christian and promote Christian values, please do so correctly.
We have a phrase that I like to introduce for this when it happens. I want to do a whole YouTube series on this. We haven't gotten around to it. But whenever someone brings up some theology that doesn't quite jive with what we find in the good book, you can say, "Theology whiz, that's wrong," and then you just leave it there. Can we move to one? I don't know, Brandon. Do you have any final important questions?
I don't know. Do you have any?
I have a question that I'd like to ask. I don't know if you've already mentioned it before, but it's gonna be very brief. And then I don't know if you want to prepare our thing. I'm not going to say it because then I don't want to have to actually, go to the actual card. But rallies tend, in my opinion, from what I see on the internet, to bring out extreme personalities on either end. If there's a rally, your extreme Bernie Sanders are thinking about going. Your Bernie supporters are thinking about going. If you have a Republican rally or whatever, your extreme right people are going to think. Mm-hmm. Those are the first people who think about going, is what I'm thinking. So, that being the case, what is the strangest thing you saw at this gathering of Americans?
Oh boy. Oh man.
In 30 seconds or less.
Oh jeez. I don't know if I could count any of it as particularly strange. I mean, you had your usual mixture of what you consider to be a liberal. I mean, you've got, agender people, you've got trans people, you've got people who are of different religions, you have people of different ethnicities. None of that was particularly strange because all of that is like American culture.
Sure.
What was strange was the guy who every single time Bernie Sanders paused and the crowd didn't start cheering, he would start shouting profanity.
Okay.
My absolute favorite was the one person, and this might have been caught on the actual television broadcast, but Bernie Sanders was saying something about the 1%, as he usually does, and the crowd got quiet for a second because he had to take a breath, and this one person shouted out, "Eat the rich." And Bernie was just stunned for a second because it was silent, and you hear, "Eat the rich."
If you hungry, if you poor in America today, if you hungry, there is a solution. Consume the wealthy.
And even poor Bernie was just standing there, and he's like, "I don't think that'd be very tasty," and just moved on. But I couldn't stop thinking about that person. What were they doing? What led them to say such a thing? What was their point? What is their family life? I need answers. If you're out there and you shouted out, "Eat the rich," please comment and let me know who you are and why you would do it.
Now, speaking of consuming things, I think it's time, Brandon, for something today.
Yes.
What is it?
A tank drink.
Oh man. Is this when the cue card plays?
Yes, it's already played now.
Dang it.
Whenever you inhaled to almost go, "Oh man," that's when it was playing. But what's the magic of it is that no time passes when it plays. It plays between frames.
Whoa, that's some cool stuff.
Through movie magic. I lock the frame.
What is this?
And I reduce the opacity of the
Diana,
frame.
Purple.
Today we have Monster Hydro Purple Passion.
Awesome.
Speaking of passionate politicking, we got passionate purple.
Politicking is the right word in some circles.
What's based on Diana's retelling? What is your evaluation of this event?
I feel like those things, all you're doing is exciting Are you asking my opinion or just what? I don't know what you're asking.
I'm ready. I want to hear the rest of that sentence. Is what I'm asking.
I don't. I think that rallies like you don't. All you do is excite, like the people that's already excited for
That's
you.
kind of what I was asking a little bit before.
And even like we were talking about different rallies, and she was talking about how you go to like a Marco Rubio. That's his
That's
name.
me.
Like Lucas Rubio. You go to
You go
Rubio.
to a George Lucas rally.
Well, today I was trying to like name him to someone. I was like, you know that guy that Trump made fun of because he didn't drink water right?
And he had ears, right? He has big ears.
Like Little Rubio or whatever.
We called him Marco Bot.
And I was like Diana talked about it. At his rally, it was, hey, here's what's wrong. Here's how we fix it. Whereas like it almost came across that Bernie Sanders is like, hey, America's pretty messed up. Guess what? You need to vote me in because things will change. But it's like not a here's how we're gonna get money to do this or whatever. And I think with whatever rally is, you don't want this like people. Like if I'm running for office, I want to go to the people who hate me and say, hey, let me convince you. Not the people that's like, hey, you love me. Can you cheer for me a little bit? And can you yell some weird stuff when I'm stop talking?
Yeah. I guess the things Bernie probably doesn't want taken away from his rally is the guy who shot a profanity between his
Or
sentences.
maybe that's what he wants.
You're right, and we are talking about it. But of course, you can't change the world without hydration, and that's my third drink segue. I think we ought to clank a drink.
Is this hydration?
It's time to hydrate the beast.
Clank it
Yay.
and drink it in your mouth.
Okay. That tastes purple.
That's a grape Kool-Aid, baby. That's all it is. It's just grape Kool-Aid.
So
That's unfairly. That's copyright infringement, right, Diana?
That tastes purple.
Lizzie,
It sure does.
Where are you? Where's Lizzie at? Is she watching? She can log in and tell us about the law.
Isn't it weird that they could pack so much caffeine into Kool-Aid and you don't taste the caffeine?
Do you taste the caffeine in other things that you drink?
It's like the monster is hidden.
It tastes exactly like those little barrel drinks you used to get, right?
Little Huggies?
Yeah, little Huggy babies. You know what I'm talking about? Little Huggy fellas.
I think that's like the Family Dollar version of Huggy Babies.
No, Huggy babies. Huggies are diapers. Huggies. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you to Diana for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
It's been a
thank
pleasure
you.
visiting with you.
What if you'll join us soon wearing the exact same...
I do not know. I wonder if I will be joining us soon wearing the exact same shirt. We'll see. But in the meantime, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. If you like Bernie Sanders, you should do that. If you like Donald Trump, you can do that as well. We're pretty even keeled, middle of the road. We don't really like anybody. I think is the case.
This is
That's how you make it in the world.
Yeah, we love you very much.